everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Tiffany, owner and creator of Aquarium Papery, and today's video is my setup of my garden slash plant planner for the 2021 season. So I actually live in Wyoming and we have a very short growing season. We also live in a part of the state that has a lot of wind without a lot of protection. So we kind of had a bit of a messed up crop last year because we had a short growing season and we weren't exactly prepared for that, and we didn't keep track of what worked and what didn't. So this year I wanted to change that. So here you're seeing that I'm just doing a cover page to kind of intro into the planner. The stamps are from Cocoa Daisy, all of them, and then the stickers you're going to see me use here in a minute are from Oh Hello Stationery Co. So this was a really fun planner for me to put together. I'm using a dot grid slim notebook from Sunshine Sticker Co. I have like 5 of these, and I thought this would be a really good use for one of them. So you're also seeing some Happy Planner stickers. I put in some watermelon, tomato, asparagus, and carrots to kind of represent the plants that we planted out in the garden. And then I'm taking a Tombow marker here and just kind of coloring in the outline stamps with coordinating colors. Again, this was really, really fun to do. I decided that I also wanted a layout. So as we were planting everything, I kind of had a scrap piece of paper and I was just kind of writing down what we planted where to kind of keep track of what is coming up. We had a lot of weeds in the garden, and so we weeded before we planted, but just to kind of keep a better eye of what exactly we plant where. So I used the Farmer's Almanac garden planner to do the layout that you saw here, and then I decided to just kind of decorate the page, add some quotes, add a silly saying, and I wish I'd had more creativity to kind of decorate it a little bit better, but it works, and it's a great visual to kind of see where everything is, especially now that we have some of the seedlings that we planted coming up. Now I am going to start writing out all of the plants that we planted. So my husband actually started our seeds inside, and so we had seedlings that we took out on the 30th of May and actually planted in the garden, and it frosted. So I think we lost all of them. As of right now, I think we lost all of them. So it's a bit sad, but we've gone to some greenhouses since, and we've gotten some really healthy looking plants, and so we're hoping that we will have at least something come up. So I just decided plant name, whether it was started inside, outside, how many plants we planted and when, how many seeds we planted and when, and then outcomes and notes. So this is kind of an index for us to be able to look at and see what we planted. And then again, at the end of the season, I'll keep track of what was a success and what was not. So I end up having 4 full pages of plants like this, with skipping every other line. And I didn't realize we planted so much stuff. So that was a bit of a shocker. But everything's alphabetical. And I really like how it turned out. You'll see this first page with the yellow kind of is my tester page, and then I kind of come back in. I'll have a complete flip through at the end of the video, but you'll see that I kind of come back in and change it up a little bit. So I had the dates wrong on these you're seeing here, so I white them out and fix them. Just an FYI, these black pens that I'm using are a Millennium assortment that I got from Sunshine Sticker Co. Do not try and write on whiteout with these pens, because the pen that I tried to write on with, it actually killed it. So if you have any tips on how I can fix that, that would be great. But to make this a lot easier, I actually saved all of our seed packets and all of the little plant tags and everything. You can see I'm referencing some here. For this little index, for notes, I just put when the plant should be at maturity. So, like the artichoke up at the top, we actually bought the plant, and it's not doing so well. I don't think you can grow artichokes in Wyoming, at least not out here. So now I'm going to go in and highlight, and then I change it. I think the only seeds that we actually started outside were the carrot tape, beet tape, and radish tape. And we actually have sprouts coming up already for those, so that was really good to see. So here you can see I'm just looking to kind of keep the pages at least similar in dimension and look. I changed the color. And I'm actually using a clean color dot marker there for a second. I also use the Kelly Creates Dream pens and Mildliner Highlighters. In a second you're going to see that I printed some pictures. So I'd gone through and alphabetized all of our seed packets, and now I'm just writing them down. There you can see one of the other plant tags, because we went and bought that plant, so I note where we bought it from. We have a lot of nurseries around here that are all, you know, they bring in Wyoming plants that you're supposed to be able to grow in Wyoming. And I noticed that one of the nurseries we went to, the plants aren't actually doing so well. So that was my main idea, to kind of note where we got the plants from. We also planted some potatoes. We had a great success with potatoes last year. We didn't exactly follow the directions. We just kind of planted all of the seed potatoes in a big pot and then cover them with dirt and let them grow. And then when they get above the pot, we go get some sonotube, which is just like a cardboard giant tube, and we put that on top in the plant, and it worked great last year. So here's my third page of plants, and I decided to draw out everything before I started writing in the plants. And then I skip actually my fourth page in writing all the plants out. But here is where I start with my pictures. So the pictures I printed on my HP Sprocket. And there you can see our potato buckets, and then some of the actual plants that we purchased at the different nurseries. So my primary reason for this was just to kind of keep track of, this is what they looked like when we planted them, and then at the end of each month, so this is in June, at the end of each month, I'll go out and take another picture and put it in the planner. So the middle picture, whoop, it moved. That picture that I just put is our artichoke, and it is basically dead now. Leaves are brown, and so I don't know if it got too much sun or what, but that is that. So here is where I start actually logging our plants and making room so that I can track specifically the plant instructions, whether it's full sun, shade, whatever, and then having a space for notes so that I can, at the end of the season, note, or as the season goes, note how the plant did. So first one is our artichoke, which we purchased at a nursery, and then you see here that I actually utilize the seed packets I saved instead of rewriting everything. So the artichoke, we didn't have a seed packet because it was a plant, but anything that had a seed packet, all of our herbs and everything, I went and cut. So I decorated the page a little bit with a marker just to kind of outline and make it not bland. And then I took some Tombow removable adhesive and just stuck down the information. So with these seed packet, there were several seeds that my husband actually purchased from Monticello. And so this seed packet, I just thought it was too pretty and too unique to cut up completely. I also had a lot of valuable information, so I didn't want to cut it out completely. This was another Monticello. It wasn't as ornate or as large, and so I was able to cut it down and kind of fit it to one page. So you can kind of see my process. Again, any seed packet that I had, this is what I did with it. If I didn't have a seed packet, or for our seed tape, there were 3 tapes per seed per packet. And so I didn't have, obviously, 3 of those. So I just jotted down the information with regard to what plant it was. So there's our beet seed tape, and then I write down our carrot tape information. Because the carrot tape actually has, I think, 5 different types of carrots in it. So that'll be interesting. I hope we get some good carrots out of that. And then there's our Anaheim chili plant. That was another plant we purchased from our local nursery. And it's doing really well. The peppers love it out here, which is kind of sad because not everyone in my house can eat peppers. I'm also hoping this ornamental corn comes in. I don't think we're going to have any, honestly. I think it all died during the frost, but that would be really cool to have that corn come up. Last year we had some sweet corn, but it was planted so late in the season it froze before we could get anything. So you're going to just see me continue to paste in our seed packets. I don't show you all of them. I also, again, said that we planted some perennials. So here's my lame attempt at a flower, and I'm going to cover it up with some stickers that actually look nice. And then the perennial information, yes, I spelled perennials wrong on some of these pages. I'm fine with it. But I jot down the information, what plant it is, because we just had the plastic thick notes, and I didn't want to take up a bunch of pages in this with these things. So we planted some succulents in the front of our house. They're doing really, really well. I'm really happy with that. Also planted a columbine plant, the origami mix, so it's a variety of colors, which is really pretty. I also left some pages between the garden plants and the perennial pages you see here, just in case we get some extra plants. We have them so we can go ahead and, I have the pages so I can go ahead and put the information in. I like the simplicity but also the organization. It's just, I'm really happy with this planner. It makes me happy to kind of just flip through and see how things turned out. I would maybe add a little bit more deco, and I may do that as I go through. But I truly wanted to keep this planner functional and informative. So here I'm referencing some information on my phone because I didn't actually have a plant info sheet for my bleeding heart. But it's doing really well where we planted it also. And so mostly we've had success with our perennials. And then here I make a couple extra pages just to have in case. And then I start to go through, here I am kind of laying out our future log. And then we got a new grape plant. So with this, I didn't want to cut that up and I didn't want to rewrite the information, so I just washi taped it in. It fit perfect, and I know when we planted it. And then I am going to do a monthly layout for each month of the growing season to kind of keep track of our big information. So currently in this planner, you'll see me lay down some information, but I have, when my husband turned our sprinkler system up to water 2 times a day instead of just every 3 days. I note when we planted our red grapevine that you saw me put the tag in for, when I planted the gladiolus bulbs, and then when we hung our tomato and petunia plants up. So we're trying a topsy-turvy for a couple of our tomato plants this year. So I'm excited to see how those go. So there I note when we planted our red grape plant, and then here when I plant our gladiolus bulbs. And now a flip through of our completed garden planner. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. If you want to see any more information or to kind of see an update as we go through our growing season, leave a comment down below. And if you aren't already a subscriber, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Thank you so much, and I'll leave you with our garden planner flip through. Have a great day.